As robberies and carjackings continue to drive crime in the district, the chief of police answers some tough questions about accountability and transparency.
Our Delia Gonzalez is live inside the Wilson building in downtown D.C. And we know the D.C. Council is about, 3 weeks away from the second vote on that crime omnibus, but the bill came up in today's oversight hearing. What are they talking about?
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of folks have concerns about that Secure D.C. omnibus bill. In fact, it was top of mind for the 30 or so people who testified at this oversight hearing today, a hearing which is still happening. We're about 5 hours in, and the chief is now getting her first rounds of questions. But folks had lots of concerns about the bill, and some of the provisions that we mentioned were controversial, including drug-free zones, body-worn cameras, and how police complaints are investigated.
Robberies and carjackings are up 12%, and as those violent crimes continue to rise, so does the fear in the community.
Violence is on the rise because over 1/3 of D.C. residents are hungry.
But residents are fighting back against the fear, testifying before the Judiciary Oversight Committee about what the council can do to address the root causes of violence that many say is not prioritized in the massive crime bill. Secure D.C. Omnibus proposes to allow police officers to view body camera footage before writing a police report and loosens the restrictions on neck restraints.
As long as the council gives MPD the funds and license to hurt our neighbors with impunity, a Secure D.C. is unobtainable.
The Office of Police Complaints seeing an all-time high of 833 complaints last year. According to OPC, most are coming from Black D.C. residents between the ages of 35 and 54, most accusing officers of harassment and foul language.
What made you arrive at the conclusion to only focus on the harassment and language issues, but not the use of force issues?
In all of those cases, MPD has already initiated at the scene their own internal investigation.
OPC Executive Director Michael Dobin says 1 out of 10 use of force cases are settled in mediation, where the complainant can talk to the officer.
And how they felt, how they were treated at the scene of that incident. And that's a lot of times, that's all people want.
Meanwhile, the Washington Lawyers Committee concerned that the proposed drug-free zones in the omnibus bill would lead to more complaints of harassment.
Drug-free zones will give MPD an additional tool to target Black and brown individuals who are congregating together, often near low-income or public housing.
Many of you have asked that officers get out of their cars more, and I agree that foot patrols expand our opportunities for positive and productive encounters with community members. I have asked each district commander to expand their foot patrols, specifically in the busier commercial neighborhoods where they can check in on business owners and interact with individuals on the street.
And here we are back live inside the Wilson building, right outside of council chambers. You can see on that monitor there the chief answering questions. She's been here for about an hour, and each council member has at least 3 rounds of questions, 10 minutes each. So we will be here, and the chief will be here for some time. But get this, Chief Smith says, she's stepped up recruiting efforts. There are large graduating classes of cadets coming in, but the 3,400 member police force still down by roughly 500 officers, and that poses a challenge in many of our initiatives of getting more officers on the streets, and a lot of the plans that she has to increase visibility. So that will be a question that we'll certainly ask the chief, how she plans to balance all of that with these initiatives and the needs that residents have to see their officers. And I got to tell you, right before leaving council chambers, I heard the chief say she's bringing back an old initiative, an initiative that we hear so many of you talking about, saying that you remember when you were growing up, and you really think it will help build and repair the relationships with police, and that's the officer-friendly program. Right now, they're focusing on elementary schools, and so far have visited 35. Right now, we're live inside the Wilson building. Delia Gonzalez, WUSA 9.
Yeah, as soon as you said officer-friendly, Dee, we were all like,
that had to be it. Yeah.
You remember that. These conversations will continue, of course, before the council votes in March. Dee, thank you.